So this is my baby's bouncer seat, and as you can see, it's a manual bouncer. I don't have a motor for it, but that's today's project. I'm going to motorize this thing so that I don't have to continuously walk over and bounce it to keep the baby happy. I've even sat across the table and used a hockey stick to keep it bouncing while reading, but that was still kind of annoying. So I decided to motorize it so that I can be doing other things for my wife, and the baby will keep bouncing along happily. So here we have a wiper motor for a car, windshield wiper motor setup, the whole assembly. Got this on eBay for about 45 bucks. Oh, and I also bought this power supply, AC to DC. So yeah, I guess maybe I got like, that was probably about 15-20 bucks, so maybe I have more like $60 invested in this project, but it's worth it to me, and I can reuse these this motor and that power supply for other things later if my child doesn't need the bouncer motor anymore. So I'm going to explain the wiring. So this is a AC to DC power supply. The reason that is needed is because we're going from alternating current, which is what your house supplies, to DC current, which is what your car supplies. So any motor, electric component that comes off of a car is going to run on DC 12 volts, and your house is supplying AC. That's exactly what this unit here does. It takes 110 volts. This can do 110 or 220. There's a little switch in there. It's on 110 right now. So this is taking 110 volts, which is standard North American wall outlet. It's not like your dryer. Your dryer and other things are like 220, but your standard wall outlet, 110 volts. And it's turning it into 12 volt DC, which is what this needs. Okay, so to wire our motor for how we want it, we want the low setting, the low speed. We are going to do the negative wire going into the number 2 slot. So that's the white wire as you see there in the picture. And the positive wire, the red, also called hot, going into the 3rd horizontal prong. Okay, so then to wire up our power converter, you just need a 3-prong electrical cord, and you're going to do the hot to the L far left, the neutral wire to the N, and then the ground to the ground symbol. And then you're going to do the white wire on the V negative and the red wire on the V positive. It's snowing, baby. Continuing with our bounce motor project. Show you where we're at. Didn't record all this, but I'll record what I do today to finish it. Use some cutting oil and just a cobalt drill bit to drill through the steel. Mounting bracket. This is just what came with the assembly I got on eBay to mount it onto whatever vehicle it came off of. I think a Mini Cooper. 1, 2, 3 random screws I had lying around go into the scrap piece of wood. I did put a hole here and one down in here so that I could run hardware wire, and then put a brad nail over here and over here, bent them over just to give some nice tension. Wrapped this wire around once and then came over here. So then some hardware tape, hanger tape with a screw on either side. I can hear him crying. Sounds like he needs his bouncer seat. I better hurry up. We're going to take this outside. We're going to cut this arm off because we only need one of the arms. We're actually able to use this to sit up in here, so that's going to be really nice. Don't even have to fabricate or attach this. It can just be installed and uninstalled just like that, and that's all you need. You'll see when I turn it on. So that's really nice. So next thing we're going to do, we're going to mount this power converter onto the wood here, and then we're going to solder these 2 wires onto the electrical output over here to the motor. To mount this, we're going to use some more hanger tape. And a couple screws. Actually, we're going to need to cut this first, so we'll head outside and do that, and then we'll mount it. We're going to mount this hanger tape onto the wood and put the power converter right here. Little scrap piece of foam here. I'm going to wedge a piece in there, just so the power converter is never vibrating or rubbing against the jagged bracket edge. And also put a little piece here. Let me go ahead and show you how this is going to work. So I'm just going to, the arm is just going to ride just like that. Go ahead and cover it with some tape so it doesn't get the seat all filthy. There we go. So here's the final setup. Got the power converter mounted, the motor. Had to put this piece of wood under because I didn't really realize I was actually scratching my epoxy table here that you can see how I made in another video. So that was disappointing, but I can always buff those out later. Anyways, as you can tell, the baby is quite fussy until we turn on his new bouncer motor. He immediately calms down in complete satisfaction. What a cute baby.